a yoga class. But we're going to go ahead and get started by sitting down. So go ahead and find a seated position. I'm going to cross my legs, and you can sit however you feel comfortable. You want a leg out, whatever feels comfortable for you. And let me turn this music down just a bit. And before we begin our practice, let's do a little breath work, and let's set an intention for today. And so I'm going to have you take a deep breath in. And as you inhale in, let's bring those arms up towards the ceiling, inhaling in deeply. Exhale, bring those hands to your heart space. And right now you can let it out with a sigh. You can exhale through your mouth. Just let all that tension go so that you can spend some time on the mat. Tension and stress-free. Another deep breath in. Exhaling out, hands to the heart. One last time, deep breath in. Exhaling out. And with the hands at the heart, let's set an intention for today's session. And that may be, today I'm kind to myself. Or today I'm going to push through. Today I'm going to focus inward. But let's set an intention for today's session. And ask the heart what that intention is. All right. So because it's summer and because it's warm, the moves that I'm going to show you today are pitta releasing. That means they're going to be releasing heat. And typically in yoga, we breathe in through our nose and out through our nose, and that creates heat in the body. But for this practice, I give you permission to exhale through your mouth. That's going to allow heat to relieve itself. And so these moves are meant to help relieve some of that heat that's being held in the body. And so we're going to put our right hand down on the mat, take that left hand up and lean over, get a nice stretch across the body. I'm going to switch sides, left hand down, right hand up. I'm going to go back to the right. This time, let that whole arm rest on the mat. So we're going to actually go down a little bit deeper. Left hand comes up. Now, as you do this, you might find your hip wants to lift up. Push it back down towards the mat so you get that nice stretch, deep, deep, all the way down to your hip. And bring your body back up. Let's rest this left hand on the mat. Right hand comes over. Again, don't let that hip rise up. Push it down. And bring your body back up. Nice. Let's raise those arms up over our head. And now we're going to do just a slight back bend. So I'm going to turn sideways so you can see this. I'm just going to lean back just a little bit. And then I'm going to take my arms forward. So we began moving to the side, now we're moving backwards and forwards. Bring those arms back up, tilt them back just a bit, and then bring them down forward. Bring those arms back up. Let's drop them down slightly behind us. My fingers are pointing away from me. My thumbs are pointing out. From here, I'm going to push my chest out and let my head drop back. And bring those arms back up and down. I'm going to do that move one more time. It's a modified camel move. We're going to bring those arms up. Drop them back behind our bodies. Thumbs are pointing away from each other. Fingers pointing behind us. Push that chest out. Let the head drop down. And bring your body forward, nice. And rest those hands on your knees. Good job. From here, we're gonna roll up onto these knees, so however it feels comfortable for you. I can tuck my feet under and move my body up. And so now I'm gonna be on my hands and knees. In this position, you want your hands directly beneath the shoulders, knees directly beneath the hips, and we're going to move into our cat-cow. And so go ahead and tuck that head, curl the back, drop that belly and look up. And let's breathe in and out as we move our body back and forth. Warming that spine up. Really take your time on this move. You really want to articulate each vertebrae as you curl in the opposite direction. Notice how your body feels as you make this move. Slowly uncoiling each vertebrae. One last time, both directions. Nice, and back to neutral. In this neutral position, I'm going to move my hands forward just slightly. I'm going to drop my belly to the ground, but I'm going to keep my head up high. I'm going to push my chest out. Feel a nice stretch across my back. And now let's let that belly go all the way down to the ground. Rest my forearms on the mat and pull that chest out. And then relax that chest and let's raise our feet up. And bring those feet down, raise that chest up again. Really working those muscles across the back. Bring that belly back down, raise those feet up. Nice, lower those legs, push with your hands, bring your whole body up. We're gonna sit back onto our heels into child's pose. This is a nice recovery for the back after those extensions. And bring your body back up to your knees. I'm going to tuck my feet underneath and I'm going to push up into downward dog. If this is a difficult move for you, you can stay on your hands and knees, just drop your head down. If you're able to, push those hips up towards the ceiling. If you're in downward dog, we're going to raise one foot up. If you're on your knee, you can still raise one foot up. And then we're going to take that leg that's raised and we're going to bring it up to our hands. So whether you walk it up or use your hands, that's okay. However you're able to get that foot up to your hands. If you're on your knee, that knee is still down. If you're in downward dog, that leg is lifted up. All right, so for me, you can see my right leg is forward. I'm going to leave my left hand next to that and raise that same hand up towards the ceiling. So if your right leg is forward, right hand is raised. If your left leg is forward, left arm is raised. And bring that hand back down. Let's move that hand to the inside and open up that leg just a bit. Now I'm going to drop that back leg. If your leg was already on the ground, leave it on the ground. This is a nice extended, this is a pigeon pose. So we're really opening up this inside thigh area here. Let's bring that knee back in, bring our hand to the outside, and I'm going to raise my body up. There we go. So one leg is on its knee behind me, other leg is out in front of me. And we're going to do a little balancing here. I'm going to raise our arms up, reach up towards the ceiling, nice and tall, working on our balance. And bring these hands back down. Let's bring that outside hand back to the inside of the leg, open up. Let's do another nice little pigeon stretch here. Bring that knee back in, put the hand to the outside. Let's raise that opposite arm up now towards the ceiling. And bring that hand back down. I'm going to take this foot, I'm going to bring it back to the other foot. So both hands are flat on the ground, and you may walk it back, you may just swing it back. From here, I'm going to push up into a plank position. If a plank is difficult for you, you can do so with your knees on the mat. We're going to hold that plank just for a couple breaths. Push against the mat with your hands. Palms are spread wide, fingers are wide apart. And now let's raise those hips up back into downward dog. We're going to lift the opposite leg now. Lift that leg up towards the ceiling. And let's bring that leg up to the front. And you may assist it with your hand, however you're able to get it up there. So you may have this leg raised, or if it becomes too much, you can let it set on the mat. You can put your blanket underneath to help soften it. I'm going to leave the same hand that's matching that leg and raise that opposite hand up towards the ceiling. And bring that hand down. Let's bring that outside hand in, open up that leg. Let's drop that back knee. We'll go into a little modified pigeon here. You should feel a nice stretch on the inside of your thigh. Nice, let's pull that knee back in, and we're gonna raise up our bodies. Our body's nice and tall now. You might feel a stretch across this back leg here. We're gonna work on our balance. You're able to raise those arms up towards the ceiling. Focus on your breath coming in and out. Feel the heaviness of the places that are touching the mat. And bring these hands back down. Let's go into that pigeon stretch again. I bring that hand on the inside, open up that leg. Take a couple deep breaths, allowing this tension to release. Now let's take the opposite arm and raise it up towards the ceiling. And bring that hand back down. We're going to take this foot back to the other foot and hold a plank for just a short time. So however you're able to get it back, let that foot go back, join the other foot, lift those knees up if you're able to. Nice plank position. Let's hold this plank for a few breaths. If you have to go down on your knees, that's okay. Push against the mat with your hands though. And let's go back up into our downward dog. And while we're here, let's walk the dog. Let's bend those knees, loosen up those hips, loosen up the knees, the ankles. Nice. From this position, we're going to walk our hands back. And so that our hands are joining our feet. My back is straight. Legs have a slight bend. And take a couple breaths in this position. Nice. I'm going to set my hands on the ground and I'm going to squat down. So I'm just going to let my knees bend. So all of us are a little bit different. My legs are super tight, so I don't know if you can see, but my heels do not touch the ground. Maybe you are able to touch the ground with your heels, and that's okay. So go ahead, and if your feet can go flat, go ahead and let them go flat. Mine aren't able to, so I'm up kind of on the balls of my feet. This is another goddess position. This is a very strengthening position for our bodies. It's a great move to move into in the morning. It helps remind our body of which direction we want our juices and all of our energy to flow in the morning as we let go of toxins. I'm going to work on some balance here. If you're able to let your hands go up to your knees. As we hold this position. Again, feel that connection to the earth. If you feel that you're able to, raise those arms up. Focusing on the connection with the earth. This is a great balancing move. Nice. Let's bring the hands back down to the knees. And we're going to set them down on the ground. In this position, take one foot and set it out. And point the toe towards you. You get a nice stretch across the back of the leg here. And then let's walk our hands slightly forward. Whatever is comfortable for you. Look at that toe though, make sure it's pointing up and back towards you. It might want to kind of tilt down, keep control, keep it up nice and tight. And let's walk those hands back. I'm going to bring that foot in and let's try the other side. Let that foot go out. Point the toe back towards you. Leg is nice and tight. Feel a nice stretch across the inside of the thigh. Now we're going to walk our hands slightly forward. Just to deepen that stretch a little bit more. And walk your hands back up. Nice. Let's pull that foot back in, back into that goddess position. From this position, we're going to move into a standing position. This might be very hard on the knees just to stand up, so go ahead and use your hands to assist you and come into a standing position. Nice. Let's go ahead and shake those legs out. Whew. Good job. All right, we're going to do a little bit of a sun salutation before we go into our warrior poses. And go ahead and relax those shoulders, relax the body. Remember, this is a pitta relieving practice. We're letting go of the heat. Just release it, let it go, exhale out. Take a deep breath in. As you do, raise those arms up. Hands slightly touch. Exhale, drop them into a goddess pose. As you do so, push that chest out. Try to touch those shoulder blades back. Exhaling out. Inhale, bring the arms back up. Exhale, we're going to drop our body forward all the way down, hands to the mat. You can let the knees bend slightly. Inhale, raise the body up, and when you do so, the back is nice and straight, hands go to the knees. Don't let your body round. You want your back nice and straight. Exhale, drop your body back down. Slight bend in the knees. Inhale, bringing those arms all the way up. Exhale, hands come to the heart. So that's going to be our salutation. We're going to do that 3 times. So let's go ahead and find that comfortable position on your mat where you can have that movement. Relax the shoulders. And inhale up. Exhale into goddess. Inhale up. Exhale, hinge all the way forward. Inhale, halfway, back is straight. Shoot energy out the crown of your head. Exhale, release back down. Soften those knees. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Nice. We have 2 more turns. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to goddess. Push that chest out. Inhale, arms back up. Exhale, hands all the way forward to the ground. Inhale, halfway. Shoot energy out the crown of your head. Exhale, back down. Soften those knees. Inhale, back up. Exhale, hands to heart. Great, we have 1 more move. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Very nice, right. Whew, get some blood flowing, get our body moving, get some oxygen inside the body. All right, so from here, let's move into a warrior pose. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put 1 foot forward. The other foot is gonna be behind me. My front foot is pointing forward. My back foot is perpendicular. So my heel actually is aligned with the arch of my foot. Back leg is nice and straight. I've got a slight bend in my front leg. I'm gonna raise my arms out, extend that energy in both directions. Imagine that energy coming from the heart and just shooting out in both directions. And really, really extend that energy and check those arms. Make sure that back arm isn't wavering down or it's not, crooked. Nice and straight. Take that front hand, move it up forward, opening the palm. Remind yourself what your intention is for this session. Imagine energy moving into that palm, moving up your arm into your body, letting that intention move throughout you. And let's sink down just a little bit more into this warrior position. Nice. I'm going to drop that front arm all the way down to the knee. Back arm goes up towards the ceiling. Really extend that arm up towards the ceiling. Back foot is connected to the earth. The hand that's pointing towards the ceiling, shoot it up towards the ceiling so it pulls your body back up into your warrior pose. Take that front leg and straighten it out. Now my legs are nice and straight as I move into a triangle pose. Tilt that body forward. And you may land on your shin, your knee. You may go all the way down to the mat. Each of us are a little different. Back hand points up towards the ceiling. Legs are straight. You may look up at the hand that's pointing towards the ceiling, or keep your head stationary facing forward. That same hand that's pointing up, Bring it up towards the ceiling, allowing your body to move forward. And my arms are back out straight. And let's change direction. Now I'm going to let that hand go to the back leg, and that front hand goes up towards the ceiling. Feel that stretch all the way down to your hip. Find that connection to the earth. And bring those hands back out nice and wide. And I'm going to take those hands and face my front leg. Let that back foot roll up to the ball. And I'm going to let that front knee bend. And hold this balancing position just for a moment. Take your hands, move them to that front leg. Take that back leg and let's bounce it up to that front foot. And uncoil the body, one vertebrae at a time. All the way up to the shoulders, and let's roll those shoulders back down. Nice. All right, let's do the other side. So if your right foot was forward, now let's put the left foot forward. And so we're going to have that opposite foot forward. It's pointing in the same direction as my knee. If I were to look at the heel, it points back to my other foot, right at the arch, so it's perpendicular there. Back leg is nice and straight, front leg has a nice bend in it. Raise those arms up. Don't let that one arm waver, you want it nice and strong. This is your warrior position. Let's put some strength in there. Imagine this energy coming from inside, deep in your heart and your soul, stretching, extending out. Let's open up that palm, allow that energy from the universe to come back in, reminding yourself what your intention is for this session. Deep breath in, and relax into this pose. Nice and strong. Good job. Let's drop that front hand down to the knee. Opposite arm points up towards the ceiling. You may look up at that hand, or you can look forward. That hand that's pointing up, imagine it's going to go up towards the ceiling as it pulls your body up. And go back into that strong warrior position. Remembering to breathe. Straighten that front leg. Now both legs are nice and straight. I'm going to tilt forward. Again, the hand may land on the knee, the shin. You may be able to go all the way down. Opposite hand goes up towards the ceiling. Legs are straight in this triangle pose. You may look up or you may look forward. Feel your connection to the earth. Feel your feet heavy against the ground. Inhaling in, exhaling, releasing heat. That hand that's pointing up, let it go up towards the ceiling as it raises your body back up. From here, I'm going to move my hands so they're facing forward. I'm going to roll onto the ball of my back foot and my front leg bends. Nice high lunge there as I lose my balance. Nice high lunge. Feel that connection to the earth. If you feel comfortable, raise those arms up. And drop those hands forward to the mat. And bring that back foot up to meet the front. And we're going to unroll that back, one vertebrae. So really roll that back. Imagine that it's a coiled rope and you're slowly, slowly uncoiling it. All the way up, shoulders nice and high. Roll them back and drop them down. Ah, nice. Legs should feel a little bit of a workout there as we build that strength in our muscles and our core. So let's take our legs and let's go to the outside of our mat. Arms out. Deep breath in. Exhaling out. Let's take another deep breath in. Extend that energy out, both hands. Exhaling out. From here, we're going to take our body, I'm going to tilt it forward. I'm going to touch down to the center of the mat. I'll turn sideways so you can see me. Each of us are different. Maybe you need to put something in front of you. Maybe you're not able to touch. Maybe you put your hands on your knees, however your flexibility allows you. I'm going to put my hands on the mat and let my head drop down, releasing any tension in my shoulder. In this position, my feet are pointing forward. They're pointing forward in the same direction as my head. I'm going to leave one hand on the mat, take that opposite hand and point it up towards the ceiling. Another side twist here. And bring that hand back down. Put it in the place of the hand that's on the mat. And let's raise that opposite arm up. And bring that hand down. And we'll walk our hands forward just a bit. And walk those hands back. And move them behind us. And come back to the center. Bend those knees and bring your body up. Now when I bent my knees, I took my feet and I pointed them out. So now my feet are in alignment with my knees, pointing at a 45-degree angle. In this position, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to tilt my hips back, so I'm tucking in my tail. Bring my arms up into a goddess position here. This is a tough hold. This is really working those legs. As we hold this position, I want you to imagine that you've got a big ball in front of you. I'm going to squish that ball. I'm going to open it back up. Squish that ball. Open it back up. One last time, squish that ball. Open it back up. You should feel your legs crying out now. We've got this though. Sink it down just a little more. And release. Let's straighten those legs out. Drop those arms. Nice. We're going to move our body back down one more time. So I'm going to take my feet, point them back forward. My cat joins us. And we're going to let our body hinge forward. Again, wherever you feel comfortable, let those hands come down to the mat. Let the head drop down. Let's walk our hands over to one leg. And let's walk back to the opposite side. And back to the center. And we're going to do those side twists one more time. So I'm going to leave one hand on the mat. Opposite hand's going to come up towards the ceiling. Let's bring that hand down and switch. Bring the other hand up towards the ceiling. And bring that hand down. Nice. I'm going to bend my knees, point my feet in the same direction, drop my hips down, and bring my body up into that squat position, arms back into goddess. Find that position when you settle in. Sink down, tuck those hips back. Take a deep breath in, let it go. Gonna hold it just for a few moments. Nice. Go ahead and straighten those legs, drop those hands down. Great job. All right. Let's go ahead and bring those feet together. I'm going to do another balancing move, and then we're going to move back to the sitting down on the mat. And so in this position here, we're going to do a modified tree pose. So in tree pose, we put our foot up and we bring those arms up. I'm going to do one that's a qigong move, and that's where I put my hand right here. This is the center of energy. In Ayurveda, this is a mama point. In traditional Chinese medicine, this is our one point. And there's a lot of energy that circles here. And so we're going to imagine that we're holding that energy. And then the other hand's going to come at our heart. Because again, this is another center of energy. And so I'm holding two really powerful energy sections of my body here. And in this position here, I'm going to lift one leg up. And you may just go onto your tiptoe. You may rest it on your ankle. You may go up to your shin, all the way up, whatever is comfortable for you. But focus on these 2 points in your body as you raise this knee up. Breathing deeply, feeling the connection to the earth. One breath more. And release, nice. Let's try the other side. So we're going to find that comfortable position with that foot. Opposite hand's going to cup that energy point, that one point at the center. Other hand comes to the heart. Really feel the energy in this space in your body. And we're going to raise that opposite foot. And again, it may go to your tiptoe, to your ankle, to your shin, higher, depending on what your ability is. And let that weight sink down. Feel the connection to the earth. Feel the energy in your core. Breathing in deeply. And let's put that foot down. Let's release those hands. Very nice. All right. We're going to find ourselves seated back on the mat. So if you need to bring your blanket back to sit on, we're going to sit back down. Go ahead and find a position on the mat. We're going to extend those feet out in front of us. And pull that flesh that's on your sit bones, pull it out so that you're sitting actually on your sit bones. That's going to help build that connection to the earth. And take a deep breath in, inhaling up, reaching up towards the ceiling, and exhaling towards your feet. Now, as you do this, don't let the back round. This is bending at the hips. Back is nice and straight. And because we're not bending the back, this is all stretching the back of the legs. So depending on how tight your legs are, will depend on how far you're able to reach. And it doesn't matter, you don't have to reach your toes, you can go as far as your knees, or you can just look at those feet. We're going to extend our energy in that direction. Bring those arms back up, exhaling down. Let's do that one more time, inhaling up, exhaling forward. Maybe you can get a little further the second time. Inhale those arms up. Exhale, bring those hands back down. Nice. And let's open up those legs. I'm going to set them on the outside of my mat. Toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. My legs are nice and tight. Inhaling up. Exhaling, I'm still going to move my body directly forward, right down the center of those legs. You might find that you're a little tighter this way and you're not able to move quite as far. Breathe into that tightness. Imagine your breath going directly into those tight muscles. Exhaling out. Bring those arms up towards the ceiling. As you inhale, exhale, let's point towards one of those legs. So I'm actually going to turn my body, face that one leg, and I'm exhaling down. Watch those feet, make sure they're pointing up. Legs are nice and tight. Inhale up. Let's turn and face that opposite foot, exhaling down. Inhale up. One last time, right down the center. Nice. Now let's go ahead and bring the body up. Let's bring those legs back in. And I'm going to take one knee and I'm going to bend it and I'm going to put it on the opposite side of my leg here. Nice. And in this position, my spine is still nice and straight, still facing upright. And I'm going to look over my shoulder behind me. And come back forward. And let's look in the opposite direction. And come back forward. As you do this, imagine your spine is actually coiling up towards the ceiling. So I'm going to drop this knee and let's do the other side. Let's look behind us in one direction. And come back forward. Let's look in the opposite direction. And come back forward. Nice. I'm going to uncross this leg, but I'm going to leave this knee bent. And I'm going to bring my other knee in. And so now I'm going to sit in this butterfly position. My soles of my feet are touching each other. All right, so we're going to bring our body forward. And there's a couple ways you can do this. You can grab onto your ankles and actually pull your body forward. Again, don't let that back round. The back is nice and straight. You're leaning forward at the hips. You can push down on these legs. I like to put my hands underneath my legs, and that allows me to bring my body forward. And our goal is to stretch the inside of these thighs right here. Breathe into any tightness. Breathe in, exhaling out any tension. Nice. I'm going to go ahead and release my arms, push my knees together, and give myself a nice little hug. And I'm going a little further. I'm going to move up so I have a little bit more space. As I'm hugging myself, I'm going to let my body roll back and up front again. So depending on how much space you have and how soft your area is, this is a nice little massage for the spine. Back and forth. We'll do one more time. Nice. Okay. So we're going to lie down now. And so I'm going to do my best to explain what I'm doing while we're lying down, because you might lose sight of me while we're laying on the mat. And so my knees are bent. The soles of my feet are on the mat, and I'm going to let my body roll back. And so my back is on the mat, and my head lies down. Now, because my knees are bent, I can tilt my hips, and that little curve in the lower back is able to touch the mat. I tuck my stomach in so that little curve of the back is flat against the mat. Hold that abdomen in nice and tight. In this position, raise both feet up off the ground, all the way up, point them towards the ceiling. My back is flat, my legs are pointed towards the ceiling. Point those toes up towards the ceiling. And let's walk those hands up and see if you can touch your ankles, touch your toes, maybe you touch your knees, leaning, pulling my shoulders up off the mat. And then letting my shoulders go back down to the mat. Let my hands go back to my abdomen where I feel it nice and tight. Legs are still up. I'm going to take one leg and I'm going to go into a figure four. So I'm going to take my ankle and set it on the opposite knee. So one leg is pointing up towards the ceiling, the other leg is bent, my ankle is resting on my knee, and I'm going to reach through that little pocket of space and grab the back of my leg and pull it towards my face. It's a nice stretch through the hips. Let's release that bent leg, bring it back up to join the other. Both feet are pointing up towards the ceiling. Now let's put the opposite ankle on the other knee. We're going to reach in through that little gap, grab the back of the leg and pull it towards your face. Breathe into that tight hip area. Release that foot, both feet pointing up towards the ceiling. Bend those knees, bring your hands around them and give yourself a hug. Keeping your knees bent, let your body lay flat on the ground. Open your arms like airplanes on the mat. And we're going to drop our knees, both knees together to one side. So I'm going to let my knees drop all the way down to the ground. Hands stay flat on the mat. And take your head and look in the opposite direction. Bring those knees back up. And let's drop them to the other side. And look away. Nice stretch across the spine. Hands are flat, shoulders should be flat on the mat. Bring those knees back up. Let's give ourselves one more hug. And then with those hands, reach down, grab the soles of your feet, and let's pull those feet up and we move into this playful child's pose here. I've got my hands on my feet. I'm able to wiggle my legs around. Maybe you move your body back and forth, give your back a massage. Nice. Now I'm going to put my hands on my knees. I'm going to do little circles with my knees, giving my lower back a nice massage. You should feel your hips and your lower back connecting with the mat. And let's switch direction. This should feel good. Nice. I'm going to let those hands drop down. I'm going to sit my legs out straight. Both legs are flat, hands are palms down against the mat. Head is resting on the mat. Let's take a deep breath in, exhaling out. And as you lie here, feel the coolness of the earth. Visualize yourself laying on the grass. Feel the cool earth touching the back of your body, the back of your legs, your back, the back of your head. As you inhale in, inhale cool air through the whole back of your body. As you exhale out, imagine heat rising from the front of your body, leaving your body, rising up towards the sun. Inhale cool air. Exhale warmth. Inhale cool. Exhale warmth. All right. When you're ready, we're going to come back up to a seated position. Let your body roll over to one side. And you can use your hands to assist you as you come up to seating. Deep breath in, releasing the shoulders, letting it out. I'm going to show you a breath technique, and I don't know if I need to get a little closer so that you can see me. So in Ayurveda, we have different ways to either bring warmth into our body or to bring warmth out of the body. And this breath work is called Shitali. And what I'm going to do, and I'll get a little closer so that you can see my face, I'm going to take my tongue and I'm going to curl it. Now, not everyone can curl your tongue. So if you can curl your tongue, this is going to be the practice that you use. You curl your tongue and you set it between your teeth. And you inhale through that curled tongue. And if you practice that, you'll feel cool air. So this is a way to bring cool air into the body. If you're not able to curl your tongue, you put the tip of your tongue at the roof of your mouth, behind your teeth, and you inhale. And so the air is going to come in on the side of the tongue right here. It's a little bit different, but if you practice that, you feel the cool air coming in. So this is a great way. If you're feeling overheated, you're out working in the yard, or even if you're in the house and suddenly you feel this sweat coming on, you can bring cool air into the body by using this breath. And exhale out. Exhale out. Or the tip of the tongue. And that's one of the breath works that we'll use in Ayurveda. So let's go ahead and close the class. I'm going to go ahead and go back to seated position and put my legs crossed, hands at my heart. And remind yourself what your intention is for today. Maybe this intention is good to move throughout the rest of your day. Maybe it was more powerful than just this class and you want to move forward with it. But I'm going to have you take a deep breath in and exhale. And instead of exhaling out through the mouth to let heat out, we're going to exhale with a hum. And so I'm going to close my mouth and I'm going to let a hum sound go through. And this is going to create calming in the brain. This calms the nervous system. and also brings in coolness into the body. So a deep breath in, exhale with a hum. Hold the hum as long as you can. Let's do this one more time. Deep breath in, exhale with a hum.